On the Hour with Noreen Virgin.
Hello, here's what's making news this hour. Another tense night in Sydney, Nova Scotia as police continue their search for 2 escaped prisoners. 3 others have been caught, but as the hunt for the others goes into its second night, people remain nervous. Greg Boone reports.
Police spent the day scouring Sydney and surrounding areas. They checked the woods and people's homes for prisoners described as violent and dangerous. It all made residents very nervous.
I'll make sure my doors are locked and my windows are locked tonight, and, you know, I'll take extra care, definitely.
We have security lights and everything home. The doors are locked, but right now I want to get home to the girls because my 2 daughters are home.
The 5 maximum security prisoners escaped from the Cape Breton Correctional Centre last night. They were part of a group in the recreation yard who refused to go back inside the jail. It's believed they used weightlifting equipment to pry a hole in the fence.
If they are confronted by someone, then there is the potential for harm to come to somebody.
Early this morning, acting on a tip, police picked up 1 man hiding in a private home. Then a second man was captured after a foot chase in the area. Then, late in the afternoon, a 3rd arrest. The jail superintendent has ordered an investigation.
This certainly will have its effect on the staff, but our job is to protect the public in the very best way we can, and we intend on doing just that.
A municipal councillor lives next door to the jail. He also wants answers.
I want to know how that could have happened, and I certainly want to be assured that it's not going to happen again.
Cape Breton Regional Police and the RCMP are still looking for the other men. They'll continue to search throughout the night. Greg Boone, CBC News, Sydney, Nova Scotia.
A popular actor from the TV show North of 60 is in an Edmonton hospital. Dakota House has serious head injuries. He was found in his apartment, a victim of a severe beating. House portrays the character TV on the weekly drama. Prime Minister Jean Chrétien spent several hours with Russian President Boris Yeltsin today, trying to talk him into signing that treaty to ban landmines. Neil MacDonald reports from Moscow.
Jean Chrétien wasn't long at Boris Yeltsin's country dacha before he was once again pushing the Russian president to sign the International Landmine Treaty in Ottawa later this year. Yeltsin has said publicly he would strive to sign the deal, but Chrétien knows it's a good deal more complex than that. Russia produces and exports billions of dollars worth of mines and uses them to defend its own vast borders. It is also an issue in Chechnya, where thousands of mines still lie buried in the landscape after that province's ruinous civil war. Yeltsin's signature, in other words, would be a prize. And while he told Chrétien today he is still keen to sign the treaty, he needs more time to deal with his own nervous military and foreign affairs officials. Most of the day, though, was spent socializing. As the visit continues, there will be more formal talks on landmines and several other concerns, including human rights issues and the fears of Canadian firms doing business in Russia's new, dynamic, and corrupt economy. Neil MacDonald, CBC News, Moscow.
U.S. Envoy Dennis Ross is in Jerusalem tonight trying to accelerate the peace process. Meanwhile, the Islamic extremist group Hamas says they'll ease up on their attacks on Israel. But as Mark Levy reports, the conditions set out by Sheikh Ahmed Yassin for a long-term ceasefire are not likely to be accepted by Israel.
American negotiator Dennis Ross is here to coordinate visits to Washington by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Palestinian President Yasser Arafat. Netanyahu notes the Palestinians have taken some steps to control extremists and stop terror attacks. The founder of the extremist Hamas, Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, explains his position in positive terms these days. Israel released him from prison October 1st. Yassin, paralyzed from the neck down since childhood, says Hamas would declare a temporary ceasefire if Israel ends its occupation of the West Bank and Gaza. When he speaks Arabic, Sheikh Yassin refers to a truce Prophet Muhammad signed with a neighboring nation with the intention of breaking it later. Hamas was responsible for 2 suicide bomb attacks in Jerusalem. 26 people died, including 5 bombers. Sheikh Yassin objects to the use of the term suicide bombers. He prefers to call them martyrs. For CBC News, this is Mark Levy in Tel Aviv.
Meanwhile, flash floods triggered by sudden rainstorms have killed more than a dozen people in southern Israel. Rain rarely falls in the desert region, but the violent storms began on Friday and continued yesterday. Thousands of Israelis were stranded by the floods. Many of them were on vacation when the storm hit, celebrating the Jewish harvest festival of Sukkot. The rising water washed away several major roadways, taking cars and trucks with it. A television reporter got a little too close to the action when a stunt didn't go exactly as planned at a show in Romania. Cars were speeding through a burning obstacle course at a stunt show. And if it looked dangerous, well, it really was. One TV reporter found out for himself when one of the cars lost control. It missed its mark and plowed into him and other spectators. The reporter and a child were taken to hospital. Neither was seriously injured. Those are our top stories to this hour for CBC News World. I'm Noreen Virgin. We now return to the Antiques Roadshow.